Good to see everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversation Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Tuesday. With the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you've been part of my conversation with author and poet Jamil Huie, discussing the year that's been 2022 so far. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Tuesday headlines. In national news, Elon Musk buys Twitter for $44 billion and will privatize the company. Elon Musk reached an agreement to buy Twitter for roughly $44 billion on Monday, promising a more lenient touch to policing content on the social media platform where he, the world's richest person, promotes his interests, attacks critics, and opines on a wide range of issues to more than 83 million followers. The outspoken Tesla CEO has said he wanted to own and privatize Twitter because he thinks it's not living up to its potential as a platform for free speech. Musk said in a joint statement with Twitter that he wants to make the service better than ever with new features such as getting rid of automatic spam accounts and making its algorithms open to the public to increase trust. Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is a digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated, the 50-year-old Musk said, adding hearts, stars, and rocket emojis in a tweet that highlighted the statement. The more hands-off approach to content moderation that Musk envisions has many users concerned that the platform will become more of a haven for disinformation, hate speech, and bullying, something it has worked hard in recent years to mitigate. Wall Street analysts said if he goes too far, it could also alienate advertisers. The deal was cemented roughly 2 weeks after the billionaire first revealed a 9% stake in the platform. Musk had said last week that he had lined up $46.5 billion in financing to buy Twitter, putting pressure on the company's board to negotiate a deal. Twitter said the transaction was unanimously approved by its board of directors and is expected to close in 2022, pending regulatory sign-off and the approval of shareholders. In international news, Russia hits rail and fuel targets far from the Eastern Front. Russia unleashed a string of attacks Monday against rail and fuel installments deep inside Ukraine, far from the front lines of Moscow's new eastern offensive, in a bid to stop Ukrainian efforts to marshal supplies for the fight. The U.S., meanwhile, moved to rush more weaponry to Ukraine and said the assistance from the Western allies is making a difference in the 2-month-old war. Russia is failing. Ukraine is succeeding. U.S. Secretary Antony Blinken declared a day after he and the U.S. Secretary of Defense made a bold visit to Kyiv to meet with President Zelensky. Blinken said Washington approved a $165 million sale of ammunition, non-U.S. ammo, mainly if not entirely for Ukraine's Soviet-era weapons, and will also provide more than $300 million in financing to buy more supplies. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin took his comments further, saying that while the U.S. wants to see Ukraine remain a sovereign democratic country, it also wants to see Russia weaken to the point where it can't do things like invade Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin accused the U.S. and its allies of trying to split Russian society and to destroy Russia from within. In other developments, fires were reported at 2 oil factories in western Russia, not far from the Ukrainian border. Their cause was not immediately known by the Associated Press. In more national news, Melissa Lucille's execution delayed by Texas Appeals Court. A Texas Appeals Court on Monday delayed the execution of Melissa Lucille amid growing doubts about whether she fatally beat her 2-year-old daughter in a case that has garnered the support of lawmakers, celebrities, and even some jurors who sentenced her to death. The Texas Court of Criminal Appeals granted a request by Lucille's lawyers for a stay of execution so a lower court can review her claims that new evidence would exonerate her. Lucille had been set for lethal injection Wednesday for the 2007 death of her daughter Mariah. Prosecutors have maintained that the girl was the victim of abuse and noted that her body was covered in bruises. Lucille's lawyers say Mariah died from injuries she sustained in a fall down a steep staircase several days before she died. In entertainment news, actor Viola Davis bears soul on way to finding me. Brutally honest and honestly brutal, actor Viola Davis looks back on her childhood like the victim of a disaster, still dazed by the experience but remembering every terrible moment. Today, Davis is a celebrated actress, winner of an Oscar, 2 Tonys, an Emmy, and many other honors. Yet her self-image as a fleeing 8-year-old, ugly, stupid, and unwanted because she was told so, never left. What changed for Davis was how she looked back, seeing that child now as a survivor and appreciating the adult she became as one who has found joy, love, and accomplishment. Her book, Finding Me, is out today. And finally, in more business news, stocks rally, erase early loss ahead of big earnings week. U.S. stocks stormed back from sharp losses in the morning to notch gains on Monday afternoon, the latest round of turbulence for Wall Street. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, it's all yours.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Give of yourself anything in return. The simple act of doing something, anything for someone else, will make you feel empowered. It doesn't matter whether you want to help the homeless or make progress with your own personal goals. The point is to take action. By taking action, you show God you want to make a difference. Your sense of accomplishment is your reward for a job well done. No thanks needed. Today, do something for someone else without expectation or acknowledgement of anything in return, and always enjoy the day.
We are part of my conversation coming up with author and poet Jamil Huie in today's Entertainment Spotlight. Stay with us, you're listening to Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Author and poet Jamil Huie joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about the year that's been 2022 for him so far, and what it's been like for him to do work that he loves. Here's a bit of our conversation.
You've been doing a lot. We were just talking about that before the show went on. I mean, you have the book that's out, God, Sex, and Slavery. I've seen you out there doing your thing when it comes to the poetry. What has it been like for you, Jamil, to have a dream and then doing the work to make that dream a reality?
It's been an absolute blessing. Like it's a very, I don't even have the words for it, and I love words, which is a contradiction. But it's like I love this journey that I've been on because I've never been on a journey as this before. It's a lot of work, of course. You got to put the work in. You got to be on social media basically every day. You got to constantly trying to figure out ways to get yourself out there. But the journey is amazing. For anyone that's trying to do it, just know that it can be done. You just got to know that you're constantly going to be working. Whether you're a mom, full-time mom, going to school, full-time job, fellas, full-time husband, wife, full-time jobs, 2 full-time jobs, plus you're trying to live your dream. Is like you just got to find a way to do it. And once you start that journey, it's like it's just a beautiful thing. And just fall in love with the journey. That's the main thing. Don't look at it as it's like it's a job or anything like that. Try to see that this journey is everything. Because a lot of times when we do finish our journeys or have our accomplishment, we notice at the end of the journey, when we do get that trophy or that victory, we notice we mostly talk about the journey. The journey was like basically very difficult and it's hard. And that's what I'm learning now. It's like social media is a very, very difficult task. It's a difficult journey, but it's like it's doable. It's just that you have to fall in love with it, put the work in, and you'll definitely find a place in this world or in this social media because you do have an audience. People love you. People are looking for whatever you're giving them because you have something of value. So a lot of times it's like we're out there, we're doing our thing, and we don't really know that we have an audience. It's like there's an audience there for you. It's just that you got to go out there and find them.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversation Daily News, but we'll get on tomorrow's more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host Cyrus Webb saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversation Daily News today. Let's make it a great one.